everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Jaguars going up against the Texans. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another season of the NFL on EA Sports kicks off today. Brandon Gunn with Charles Davis. You look at these two teams, big changes in the offseason for both, really, Charles. For the Jags, a new coach, new rookie running back, some big-name signees defensively. For the Texans, gone is Brock Osweiler. Nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to take over the football.
Here we go
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already worked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Officially, the 2-yard punt. Not too shabby. This offense ready to head back out there as they'll take over with a little over a minute to play in this first quarter. For the Houston Texans as they make their way onto the field, another season for them that begins with a lot of optimism. They're coming off a second straight AFC South title, finishing 9-7 3 straight years. Maybe they're hoping this year that 10 wins is a minimum for them.
10 wins and beyond, because they've got the defense to take them all the way to the Super Bowl. Number 1 in the NFL last year, get J.J. Watt back. They drafted Deshaun Watson in the first round at quarterback. They need to shore up that position in order for them to make the run that they expect, one that could culminate in a Super Bowl appearance.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Lamar Miller went to Houston to be the lead running back, the featured guy, but still, I think Coach Bill O'Brien, he might have felt he overused him a little bit in the season. His touches were way up.
Yeah, he was on pace for over 400, a lot of bumps and bruises, maybe on a little bit of a pitch count here in the early going.
Could also be the reason Houston drafted Dante Foreman out of Texas, maybe to ease the load a little bit.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run with Miller, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the air now with Savage. Gets it to Strong. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing on third down, it's Savage. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down.
Now let's go.
They are going to go. It's Savage. He's got the completion to Strong. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Normally when I talk about DeAndre Hopkins, I'm talking about accomplishments. In this case, I'm remembering that he lost nearly 600 yards in receiving from 2015. He had less than 1,000 last year.
Yeah, and his touchdowns dropped from 11 to 4, so now he's hoping for more consistent quarterback play. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Here we go
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that?
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And partnered with a new quarterback running the show for the Texans. So this offense will head back out there already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. Reminder that later tonight we'll see the Giants and Cowboys battle in Dallas. Seems like they're always playing in week 1. And then on Monday night, a doubleheader. Adrian Peterson, his first game with the Saints. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans are in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there and have it.
Offense respond. Their defense just gave up the touchdown. Now it's their opportunity. 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Flipping left side, and he's got a man. It's Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, a 22. First down, it's Savage. And he fires one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Now the Texans want to call another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And now following that time. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And here comes the Texans now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back. He rifles one that's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. The NFL scoreboard, 2nd quarter in Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Savage. Throw left side complete. It's Hopkins. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Texans trail at home at halftime. The Jaguars have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10. Miller's going to look for a gap, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. That pushes the lead to 5. Texans now late in the second. Savage is going to complete the pass, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 48-yard line. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you back over to Houston as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going. Again here in quarter number 3. Akeem Hunt now to return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again. And on offense. And he's found the end zone. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Let's go!
On first down, Savage. Well, the man open here is strong. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Second and 10, going with Savage again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Hurry up, here we go!
They snap it to Savage. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. 20. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. And he also also had an interception return for a touchdown last year, another one there. What's the goal for a defensive back? One a season?
One a season is really
fantastic.
Way more than you would expect. I mean, guys set those types of goals, but rarely are they reached, rarely they achieved. To be able to pull it off back-to-back seasons, who says no one makes house calls anymore?
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now it's the backup Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now it's Watson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Ivory. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Bortles on the bootleg. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. A shotgun snap for Watson. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On 2nd down, Ivory. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
And it'll pass the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Hard throw, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Come on, let's go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Mercedes Lewis, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. What a difference a year makes so far, at least. These guys last place in their division a year ago. Looking like they're going to move to 1-0 right now.
Not really unusual in the NFL, though, is it? Because we always talk about every year, 8-8 is kind of the baseline for everyone, plus or minus. And we've seen many teams go from worst to first. I know it's 1 week, but still, they're starting to think to themselves, we've got a chance this season.
And a look now at Lamar Miller. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
on 1st down, it's Watson. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
oh man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 2nd and 10, Watson under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Telvin Smith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come on, let's go. Watson.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what are you doing when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he fires one incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And he finds his man Griffin. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. It's tough to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
Throwing again is Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Red 38. Red 38.
Watson looks to throw again. And this is incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Let's go.
Here's Watson on the sneak. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed him.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And here just playing for pride at this point. Down big, but they'll go for it on 4th and goal. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, So special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl.